So I want to talk about what to do when you get an offer. All right, assuming that you have a buyer in your car, you go out, you show them a couple of properties, and the buyer tells you, "I like the house. What's next?" Basically, when someone likes a property, the first thing you want to do is you want to drive straight to the office, sit down with the buyer, explain to them the procedure of going through with the contract, explain to them the different steps, and I'll do that also in one of the videos so you know exactly how to do that. But when you get an offer, the first thing you want to do is you want to contact the listing agent. Okay, when you get an offer from a buyer, you want to contact the listing agent, let them know that you have an offer, get their email address, get their fax number. Okay, make sure you do both. Email them the contract and fax them the contract. Make sure they received both. So after you email them and fax, get on the phone, call the agent, make sure they got it. Okay, and then you want to be with your finger on the trigger, meaning you got to call the agent until you get an answer back from the owner so that you can go back to your buyer and, if needed, renegotiate, try to bring your buyer up, or create the deal, of course, if the seller accepted their offer. Alright, but what you do when you get an offer is, first of all, get excited, okay, because you're only wait to get a contract that's solid. So the offer has to go to the listing agent, the offer needs to be in writing, you need to understand exactly how to write a contract, you know, how to put all the terms, how to put all, you know, the price and whatnot, how to fill up the first page, the second page, all the way to the end of the contract forms, and that will be guided by your mentor and your broker in your office. Okay, we're also going to have a video that explains exactly how to fill up all the forms coming up in the future. Okay, so you can watch one of those videos and see exactly how a contract is being filled. But once you get the contract, once you get the offer, you need to get excited about it. You need to call the agent, make sure that the agent understands you have an offer. And sometimes when I get an offer and I understand from the buyer that that's their highest and best, they're not going to go up, I try not to present their highest and best. I try to present something slightly below, because everybody likes to negotiate, and you want to leave some room for negotiation. So if a buyer makes an offer, let's say 300,000, you tell the buyer that you're going to present, you know, what's your highest and best offer in case that we need to be in a bidding war situation. If the buyer says, okay, you know, my highest and best will be 320, start with 300. Present a 300,000 offer, because remember, you work for the buyer and you're trying to get the buyer to get the best price possible. Okay, so therefore you want to present the lowest amount. In other words, you want to present a lower amount than the highest and best, and leave room for negotiation, so later on in the game you can raise the offer and create a deal. Alright? Never present your best, your highest and best from the get-go. Always take some time and leave room to negotiate, because the sellers will always negotiate, unless you're in a bidding war situation where, for an example, let's say that you're presenting an offer on a bank-owned property. If you present an offer on a bank-owned property, normally there's going to be a bidding war. And I would say, from my experience, more than 50% of these listings, you know, bank-owned REOs, go above asking. So you got to present your highest and best right from the get-go. All right. So what do you do when you get an offer? Call the listing agent, fax them a copy of it, email them a copy as well. Make sure they received it. Okay. Get a confirmation via email from the agent saying, I received your offer, and keep a copy of it so you can show that to your client in the future. Alright, the next video you want to watch is what happens when the seller accepts your offer and you're going into contract. What happens then? Watch that video.